Between the period of 1st of February 2026 till 31st of March, Webflow has released how many? 27 updates. That's literally almost one update every 2 days. It sounds crazy. Hi, my name is Derek Su. I'm a Sydney-based Webflow developer and web designer. I have made previous videos on my YouTube channel explaining updates made by Webflow, but frankly speaking, 27 updates is absurd. So in this specific video, I'm going to go ahead and try my best to summarize these updates for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and separate these 27 updates, massive updates that affect everyone, including me and you, specific updates that affect roles and user permissions, updates that only affect GSAP animation, updates that only affect enterprise customers, and finally we'll end up with just smaller updates such as app releases.
1, 2, 3, go!
Real-time collaboration completes rollout. So I've talked about this in my previous updates, but Webflow has finally successfully made real-time collaboration available for essentially Webflow. It started out with enterprise, now it's available on all plans, and I've already seen this live in action with my client work where we're both jumping on a call and he's on Webflow, I'm on Webflow, and we're both making the changes, and I can also consult him on how to make the changes live and I can see it on my screen. So let's move on to the next massive update. Webflow AI Site Builder evolved. So you guys probably didn't even know that Webflow has a native AI builder. I've made previous videos in my channel of talking about Reloom AI, which is probably one of the most industry standard. But if we go into this specific AI builder, which was released in February 2025, this allows you to create a website using AI completely natively in Webflow, built by Webflow. So let's quickly take a look at this because this is a massive update and I do have plans to create a tutorial video on this. So I'm currently on my dashboard. We can go ahead and hit new site. And then once you hit new site, it gives you 3 options. It says blank site, which is, a blank canvas, a template, which you can go ahead and purchase free or paid templates and use that. But you'll notice it says AI site builder on the left. So let's go ahead and click this. And again, I want to make a tutorial on this. So I'm just going to quickly just do a high level. I'm going to go ahead and describe your site. So again, it's all about the prompting. I'm just going to say, I'm going to do like a really short prompt just to test it out. Please make me a 1-page agency site. I want a minimalistic retro line art feel. And I want it to be super clean and professional. I want the CTA to be book a calendar with me. All right. Now once I hit this, it'll read the prompt. It'll go ahead and just suggest the pages. And once that's done, this is really reminiscent of Reloom. And I'm starting to question, did they partner with Reloom behind closed doors to do this? Probably, I don't know. But here you can go ahead and reorder the section and rename, etc. Again, it's not a tutorial. And then hit generate site. Let's give it a couple of minutes. And while that is cooking, let's move on to the next update. Next gen CMS now available for enterprise customers. So Webflow has been slowly updating their CMS capabilities, which is fantastic. And currently it's only available enterprise customers, but they have been saying that they're going to release this for every single Webflow plan. So we're patiently waiting. What does this involve? Double the CMS storage. That's insane. So 1 million CMS items per site. Insane. 2 times richer data models, access up to 100 fields per collection and 20 reference or multi fields per collection, 50 times CMS collections. That's crazy. And essentially they're just expanding the flexibility, like 2 times collection list, 5 times nested collection list, and multi-level nesting, which goes up to 3 layers deep. That's insane. So currently it's 2 layers deep, but we can go 3 layers deep. You know what I mean? We're going deep, guys. And I'll be honest, CMS is very complicated. I've already made a tutorial explaining the premise of CMS, so check that out. But this is really, really cool to see how this is going to be released to everyone. So before I move on to the next update, let's jump back into the AI site builder. And as you can see, this has spit out this whole thing. And if I just go ahead and hit continue building, again, this is not a tutorial. It's done. It's finished. Finite. Obviously, you can go in and change the design. And obviously, if you create a better prompt, you'll get a better website. But this is insane. So right now, you can see this is the slider component for some reason. You notice the design is pretty nice. The crazy thing about this is the fact that this is all mobile responsive, all done. And depending on your skill level, you can easily fix this up. And this gives you something to work with. Of course, it's probably not there yet. This is arguably like in the same level as some like beginner developers. So this is very interesting, this AI site builder. I'll go ahead and make a separate tutorial, but this is really cool stuff natively in Webflow, and you guys probably didn't even know that. Let's jump into the next massive update. Components Canvas is now available. So we know about components, and again, I have plans to make a tutorial because this is very powerful stuff. So a good example of a component would just be like your navbar component. It's being reused in every single page. So you turn it into a component. And in the component, for example, if you update the navbar link menu from about to company, it automatically reflects every single other pages that the component has been in. That being said, components can also have a unique override, which again, I'll do a tutorial. But the thing about this is moving into almost like Figma components where you can click into the components and see what that looks like. So it gives more flexibility. Let's take a look. So as you can see on my website, I have a bunch of components indicated by green. I can go ahead and double click it. And like I said, if I rename about to like company and I click out of the component, in this case, the way I set it up, every single page will be renamed to company, right? Of course, we can do a unique override and just only change the name on certain pages. That's fine as well. That's called properties, which I'll go ahead and explain in the tutorial. If I hit Command Z, so what we can do with components is we can actually go into it by hitting components, and we can go ahead and click this button right here where it says open component. So this will literally open it in like almost like a new page, but it's not actually a page. And you can see this is a new interface, and you'll notice this specific component is a bottom like announcement bar. So it essentially creates this new view, and it gives the ability for marketers, they say marketers and perhaps developers, to see what that original component is like, just like Figma. Super cool stuff. Let's move on to the next massive update. Control content with conditional logic. So I explained this in my previous updates, but this was a huge, massive UI overhaul. So if we go back into a CMS page, let's just say, for example, I have journals right here, and we click into a specific CMS item, you notice in the visibility, we can hit this purple button and we hit a new conditional logic. And again, like I mentioned, they had this new UI right here, but with their conditional logic, we can now target variants, text, attributes, images, and videos. So they're slowly just expanding, and you can also use slots can be referenced in conditional logic. So again, keep this video short, but this is just upgrading what they've done previously. Move on to the next update. Customize your dashboard with light and dark mode. So this was literally released today at the time of recording my video, or yesterday, the 30th of March, probably the last update of the month. Hopefully, Webflow, you're crazy. Let's go back into my dashboard, and all this update is in your account drop-down setting. We can now have this new toggle called dashboard theme, and we can just change it from light to dark. That's literally it. Whoa. All right, let's move on to the roles update. I'm just going to quickly speed through this because there's 27 updates. Legacy editor depreciation. So luckily, I've already made a tutorial explaining what the legacy editor is in case you're watching this in the future. But this specific mode to edit your Webflow site is literally going to be, sunset or just removed or sacked on August 4th, 2026. Webflow's been pushing updates saying, hey, we're doing this transition. You should do X, Y, Z and tell your clients what to do. But that's essentially what it is. Introducing client seats, a flexible collaboration experience for your clients. So from my understanding, because the legacy editor is being removed, the edit mode is kind of like destroyed. So this has a new permission where the user or the workspace owner can invite freelance guests and agencies for free to their Webflow site to edit their site, essentially. This is just in preparation of the depreciation of the legacy editor. And I have plans to make a video on explaining workspace plans and pricing plans, so keep in mind and stay tuned. Let's move on. Edit content globally in a component as a marketer or content editor. So marketers and content editors, as I discussed in my previous Webflow updates, if I go back into one of my Webflow projects, this can be achieved by inviting a user from the site settings and setting a certain permission like editor or marketer. Or if you're the actual owner or the developer, you can log in, go to the Webflow mode, or it used to be called designer mode, but I guess this is the only mode now because they're going to sack that legacy editor. Like I said, if we hit the Webflow icon on top left, you'll notice right here where it says preview role, marketer, content editor. So you can simulate this. I explained this in the previous update video, but essentially it gives more permission for these specific roles to go into a component and change it. So for example, this is explaining how Webflow might have a slider and you can go ahead and change the slider components natively with this specific role. Next change is reviewers can now request edit access right from the canvas. So this is very, very straightforward. If you have a reviewer role, you're literally limited to just seeing the Webflow and maybe commenting on the project. But now you can actually hit ask to edit and you can go ahead and edit the site. It's also worth pointing out, from my understanding, you can actually now invite someone that doesn't have a Webflow account, if I understand correctly, to comment on your read-only link or your Webflow link. And then they can also ask to edit that specific Webflow project. Next change, guests can now share comment-only links. Wow, I was literally talking about this. So this is amazing. You can literally generate a comment-only link. Let's go ahead and take a look at this actually. So right now I'm on my project, hit share. You notice right here, it says share link, and anyone with the link can comment. You hit copy link, open an incognito tab and paste that in. You notice you don't have to log into a Webflow account or enter your email address, because I mentioned this in like my first update video. And now I can literally just comment. So I can click this and hit, this sucks, go kill yourself, because this world is full of evil. Hit post, and I was wrong. Obviously it makes sense that you should put your name and your email, but you don't have to create a Webflow account. And that's how you know that it will appear up on the comment on the right hand side. So this is really cool stuff. And like I said, you can hit ask to edit right here, and this will go ahead and prompt you to log in, etc. And obviously I will decline that request. Let's move on to the last one, which is increase comments limit to 20,000. So essentially this allows you to just add more comments. I mean, let's be honest, if you're just like starting out like a freelancer or like a small company website, I doubt you're going to reach 20,000 comments with 50 replies per thread. So that's 50 times 20,000. That's the variable. And maybe if you're an enterprise customer, maybe. Perhaps in the future, Webflow has plans to like clear some comments or something, or increase this, or have a history log. But that's what that is. Let's move on to the next genre of changes, which is GSAP. So like I said in my previous update videos, GSAP is an advanced animation library that was literally acquired by Webflow. They have a partnership or integration where it's for free, native in the Webflow. To get there, you just hit interactions. At the very bottom where it says version, you just want to hit GSAP. That's what that is. And the updates to GSAP is copy and paste interactions between site. So now you can actually copy and paste like certain GSAP animations to another Webflow site, which apparently you couldn't do before. That's pretty cool, because I feel like more people are going to use GSAP to create these complex animation. Maybe they'll create it into a template or clonable, but you can now copy and paste that. The next one is animate variables using interactions with GSAP. So again, I want to make a tutorial on variables and components, etc. But essentially you can target these variables and components, and has more like logic and more like seamless efficiency to everything. So like animations, lotties, and spline. So I won't go super in detail, but it'd be cool to make a tutorial. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if you want me to make a tutorial on GSAP, etc. Let's move on to enterprise changes. Control who can work on individual pages with page-specific access control. So the reason why I say this is like for enterprises is because this only is available for enterprise customers. Otherwise, these changes don't really affect someone who's like a small team, etc. But essentially, you're allowed to control specific role access and specific page level access for people in your team. So you might give your team like editor access, but say, hey, you cannot edit this specific page, and you can only edit these specific pages. So it's great. You know, Oyster HR says, as an admin, I have confidence in my team. Wow, amazing. Let's move on to the next one. Simplify brand governance with bulk library updates. So this technically is an enterprise. You know, I probably got lost in the translation, but essentially, if you go back into my Webflow, you notice there's a thing called libraries right here. And what you can do is you can actually save all your components and your variables and all these style settings. But you'll notice I have a bunch of components right here. You can actually save it as a specific library, and you can go ahead and share it across your workspace. So that's essentially what it's saying. And again, this just saves a lot of time. When you set up a new site, you can go ahead and just share all these components, variables, etc. Next one is guide AI with custom prompts in Optimize. So again, I don't even think Optimize is an enterprise thing, exclusive thing, but I'm imagining people only use this if you have the budget to use it, essentially. Luckily, I recently became a Webflow partner. They actually give their certified partner a sandbox workspace. You'll notice it says Derek Su Sandbox, and I can go ahead and see 2 demo sites created by Webflow, and I can actually preview the Webflow optimize and analyze functionalities. So I can actually show you guys some level of detail. So for example, I can go into this Webflow project, and I can go ahead and just select the heading right here, take your retreats to new height, and I can go ahead and hit this drop down base site optimization, go ahead and hit plus, and this allows me to create a test. This allows me to create a personalization, and this also allows me to explore AI suggestions. So if I hit explore AI suggestions, so I'm currently on the Playbox site, and if I go ahead and scroll down to like a certain heading, like this one right here, take your retreats to new heights, I hit this base site drop down, hit this plus button, you'll notice it gives me ability to create a test, create personalization, or explore AI suggestions. If I hit explore AI suggestions, it's at the 7th time it crashed. It's the 7th time it crashed. Wow. All right, so if I actually click into a specific heading, let's just say this one right here, nature first stays in thoughtfully designed micro home. I can go ahead and hit this base site right here, and I can go ahead and hit this plus button right here. And you'll notice it gives me a bunch of options like create tests, create personalization, but there's this option called explore AI suggestion. So once you click into this will go ahead and open the AI system on the right-hand side. We'll go ahead and just click that text once again. And right here, you'll notice you can prompt something to the AI saying like, change this heading to be more SEO optimized. Change this text to, fit this specific need. You'll notice it also gives you some suggestions. So create social proof to headlines, simplify your headlines, create value-driven headlines. So let's go ahead and try the add social proof to headlines. We'll go ahead and click into it, and this will go ahead and generate. Once it's generated, you'll notice it's giving you suggestions of what to change it to. So for example, featured in Forbes and Architectural Digest for Eco Smart Travel Experience. We can go ahead and just tick the ones that we want, and we can also run A/B testing, etc. Let's move on to the next update. Track the conversions that matter most with custom goals in analyze and optimization. So the great thing about this is we can now track specific embeds. So for example, some customers might have like a Jot form or a HubSpot form embed in the Webflow side, but that was pretty hard to track or almost impossible to track unless you track it from the source, like the HubSpot login dashboard, for example. But now we can go ahead and track that. And we can also book scheduling tools like Calendly, and we can also track stuff like the tabs and slider components. Very, very good, very more specific. Let's move on to the next one. Understand audience behavior with Webflow Analyze. So they just increase the functionalities for this with new audience filtered and saved audience. So they seem to be upgrading this specific feature, and it's really good because this is natively done in Webflow. You don't have to rely on like Google Analytics or something, which is integrated. This is all done by Webflow, and obviously Webflow has all the source data. So this is great that they're expanding it. Next change is control who can use Webflow AI in your workspace. So this is literally just a checkbox saying who can use the Webflow AI functionalities, which I kind of explained in this video as well as my previous update videos. Then we also have update for enterprise where it has a log, a workspace audit log, which records who toggled the AI changes essentially. So it's just logs. Let's quickly move on. This is a very long video. Let's quickly move on to the last updates, which is app releases and minor improvements. Okay, starting with Webflow Cloud enhancements. So I obviously don't use Webflow Cloud, but they actually have a server, like a cloud server from my understanding, where you can go ahead and store stuff. And this is essentially making stuff faster, more secure, etc. So I can't really speak too much on this because this is more like backend, I'm assuming, but it's there. Next one is just updates in regards to marketplace. So we actually have a Webflow X Claude. So Claude is a very popular AI engine, almost like Gemini and ChatGPT. I think I've used it like 2 times, but I guess Claude is more advanced because it's made by Anthropic, and you can go ahead and write all this code. The reason why I can't really say too much about this is because there's just so many updates, so much stuff to keep in tab. Next one is Cursor. So Cursor is a popular AI tool, if I remember correctly, to write certain code and databases, etc. So there's now an integration with Cursor as well. Just keep in mind, currently, from my understanding, you can't just go into Cursor or you can't go into Claude and say, hey, build me a website in Webflow, and then it literally builds it in Webflow. Maybe in the future. These are more like stuff like update my Webflow CMS, or give me an order on my Webflow site, and you can go ahead and crawl your Webflow site, but it can't build the stuff from my understanding at this time. Next one is just introduction of OneTrust, which has been released to the Webflow marketplace. I believe OneTrust is almost cookie consent and embeds, so that's what that is. And then lastly, we have Marketo forms being released. Adobe Marketo Engage is now official. That is it, guys. Very, very long video. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. It took me 1 day to make everything because this is a very urgent video. My name is Derek Su. I have many free videos on my YouTube channel, mostly on Webflow tutorials. I also make videos providing value on freelancing if you're a freelancer. Otherwise, I also have 2 paid courses. One is on Webflow and the other one is on freelancing. Check it out in the description if you're interested. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. But before we end the video, please give this video a comment and let me know what you guys think about these updates. Personally, I think that Webflow has just been releasing so many of them, and at the end of the day, Currently, I'm a solo freelancer. None of these updates really matter, maybe like 2 or 3, but most of them are just affecting like if you have a massive team, which makes sense because that's where you get the most money from Webflow, and they can't just be releasing updates for like small fries, small peasants like myself. I really hope I didn't offend Webflow because I really do want to work with them in the future. So if anyone from Webflow team watching this, I'm just providing entertainment value. It's been a very, very long video. I've been recording for 30 minutes. So please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.